Hey, fasting friends, Denisha Island here, and I want to let you guys know about the last 60 days that I have been embarking on the carnivore diet. So, this is a fasting channel, and the name is Fasting to Fit, but I haven't been fasting. I've been doing other things, working on my health, and just making sure that I'm strong and making sure that I get to the level of fitness that I so desire. So, if you're interested in knowing more about my fasting and my carnivore journey, stay tuned. So, first, I want to talk a little bit about my fasting journey and what's been going on during the last actually 90 days since I've really recorded a video. So, my last fast was back in June, and I had my anniversary. Me and my husband went out, did some great celebrating, and it just went south from there. And not in terms of fasting, but in terms of my thought processes. I was so determined in terms of like getting numbers, making sure I'm losing weight, very performance based on the things I was doing, even for this channel. And just seeing that that was not the best thing for me at that time. So I really had to take some time to evaluate myself, evaluate what I was doing and why I was doing it. If you do anything and you don't understand the fullness of the purpose and why you're doing it, it won't be effective. So, fasting to fit, I was fasting for fitness, for health. I have been continuing with my exercise routine. I have continued with working towards my goals. So when I say it went south, it's not like I went back to standard American diet. I wasn't going back to eating cheeseburgers and donuts, hitting up McDonald's every day. But it was at a place where I just had to find myself. So many times it's when you hit that rock bottom spot where you actually decide, okay, where do I go from here? And did a lot of soul searching, and just really thought about what is it that I'm trying to do with my body? What is it that I so desire in my life? And that's when I found out about the carnivore diet. I had done keto previously, had great results, but it wasn't anything sustainable for me. There are a few things that didn't work well for me in terms of sugar addiction, food addiction, and those things hadn't changed. So it was kind of like an on the wagon, off the wagon type of thing. And that in itself was not good for me mentally. And it wasn't good for me physically either, because if you have studied keto, you know that it's a high fat diet. So if you go from having a high fat diet and then cheat and eat donuts or ice cream the next day and it's high sugar, really you're putting yourself at more risk for heart disease, stroke, diabetes, all those things, because you're adding fat, but you're also adding sugar. So those were things back about a year ago that didn't really help me because I was fighting with myself. So, what I have been doing in the last 60 days, and it's been an amazing 60 days, is the carnivore diet. The carnivore diet is where you eat meat and meat products, and that's it. So, it's a full elimination diet. I know a lot of people start just with beef, salt, and water, and that's it. And that's what works with them. So I have been on carnivore for 65 days now. I've gone through the 8 weeks. So when talking about fasting, it is encouraged that you don't really do any type of fasting during the first 30 days to 60 days, and just allowing your body to get fat adapted, allowing for your body to process eating just meat, things like digestion, hormone regulation, and things that fasting affects in a different way than just eating the meat products would. So it has been interesting. I know that in the beginning, I really wanted to fast. I wanted to do OMAD, which is 1 meal a day. There's so many things that I wanted to incorporate, and I just decided to go to the basics. What is it that this specific way of eating needs? What does it require of me? So I stopped fasting, and I haven't fasted for about 90 days now. I stopped because I had those 3 weeks where I was not fasting. I was just eating regular food, not like super crazy. And then for the last 8 weeks, I have been carnivore. I know I have amazing friends who are vegan. I thank God for you. I thank God that that works for you. That is not something that works for me. It doesn't work for my body type. It does not work for my hormone profile. It does not work for maybe my blood type. It just doesn't work for me. And it's something where I would always be weak. I would be tired, unable to perform. So, you know, with exercise, even my daily work activities. So even thinking about going carnivore was kind of like, okay, if doing such an elimination when I was doing like Daniel's fast for 40 days was so harsh on me, how is it going to be eating a meat-based diet? And it actually was so much better than I could even ever expect for it to be. I am so thankful because in the 60 days, not only did my digestion get better, I thank God so much for digestion because I had horrible issues with my digestion, even with keto and eating, you know, the fake sugars and things like that. Digestion is good without sugar, no sugar cravings, which is something that has been continuous. So when fasting, you don't have the cravings, but if during the time you break your fast, you eat the sugar, you will have those cravings again. So with carnivore, I haven't had cravings for about 7 weeks. And that has been like super exciting, something that I'm happy about because I know that I had a sugar addiction, and I'm going to say past tense because it's not something that I have had to deal with. I haven't had those cravings right now, and I'm thankful for it and hope that it continues in that manner. There are plenty of people who, while they start carnivore, because they care about the weight loss so much, they do incorporate OMAD and things like that. So like I said, just doing strict carnivore, hemoglobin A1C went down. It went down, and now I'm not even in pre-diabetic range, and that was about week 3. I'm sure that some of the times of fasting also help with that, but I got those labs during the time that I was carnivore. So I will accredit it to carnivore. I had been working with fasting and changing my diet for many years, and it still kind of stayed at the same level. So I believe completely eliminating those sugars made the difference. So with that, awesome. Skin has gotten better. I do have a few breakouts here and there, but also no dry patches, none of those eczema spots or psoriasis spots that I had before. So that has been excellent. Pain, no pain. And that is something that I can say also with fasting. I was not having pain all the time. I was having pain sometimes, but completely gone. It's not because I have not broken it like you would break a fast. Because I haven't broken my carnivore diet, I have been able to eat what I'm supposed to be eating, not have that sugar that releases those toxins and is causing me to have bone and muscle pain. Another thing is I also believe that my bone density has increased because of the bone pain not happening. I would just always have aches and pains, and I just didn't really understand the fullness of it. but now I feel so much stronger. Of course, while you're doing any type of long-term fasting, you don't feel strong during the fast. So the carnivore has been excellent for that. So I'm just letting you guys know what I'm doing in between, because the whole point in me doing this carnivore journey is so that I am in the space that I need to be in so that I can go back to fasting. So carnivore, I have lost weight. I've lost a lot of inflammation. So many inches have come off. And that is with me eating. So I'm thankful for that, because, you know, you eat, you're full, you're satiated, you're glad, and you keep on moving, and you're able to do workouts and all those things, able to lift weights. Perfect. But I want to be able to have something that I enjoy and that I'm able to something that keeps me sustained in between the fasting. So I will be going back to having some long-term fasts for my fasting journey, because that's something that I love. That's something that gives me the good results I need. But also being able to go ahead and, besides having the fasting in between, be able to eat the days that I'm not fasting, and not be so worried about it, not worried about water weight, not being worried about inflammation, not being worried about being in pain, not being worried about having digestive issues. And there's all these things that have been happening during my refeeds that kind of push me back for a day or 2 days, and that's not fun. So, you know, I want to be able to enjoy my life fully, be able to have my fast and enjoy the fasting time, and be able to enjoy the feasting time as well. So that's something that I have loved about being carnivore, and I hope will be something that is excellent for me when it's time for me to start back fasting. So I will start back doing some fasting this week. I'm super excited because, like I said, it's been like 65 days. It's been 8 weeks, and it's something that I miss. Funny enough, my body right now has been really like, Denisha, it's time to fast. And I'm like, oh, just a little while longer. I'm getting ready for this long term fast, this very long extended fast. And I'm like, no, let me just keep on eating until then. My body is like, no, fast. So I have been doing some intermittent fasting during the day, not because I want to, but because my body is just like, okay, you just got to do this, girl. So I'm still listening to my body. I'm excited. So the fasts that are coming up, I have a few things in mind, and, you know, hopefully we'll see what's going on with that. I will be consistent on letting you guys know what's going on with me in my fasting journey since I'm back fasting. So definitely I have like long-term fast, like some 5-day dry fast plans, some 2 and 3-day dry fast. I still enjoy dry fasting over water fasting. And then also a very extended water fast that I'm still trying to gauge the timeline for that. I'm really excited though about this, just because I know that I'm so much healthier. I know that I'm no longer anemic. I know that my female cycle is normal. I know that my insulin has gone down, and that my A1C is down. My blood pressure is perfect. So I feel more confident being able to do more long-term fast, and, you know, still continuing to walk in perfect health even during the fast. Because if you are not, let me put it this way, if your health is not where it needs to be, fasting can heal a lot of things, but fasting doesn't heal everything. So just using wisdom, continue to work well with your doctor to see what is the next step for you and your health. And I'm excited for about where I am and where I'm going. So my weight currently is in it's 346. So that's a little bit higher than the last time that I've ended my fast. That weight was at the end of a dry fast, and this is my weight fully fed. So I am excited for the next step. I'm excited for dropping this weight. I was expecting to already be under the 300-pound mark, but for me, I know that my health is more important than just losing weight. There's so many components to it, and just continuing to be, just allowing myself to be a whole person, just allowing for everything that I do to work together and be where I need to be. I do want to be alive for the next year. So I know that if I had continued fasting at the level that I was anemic, then it would have been over with by the end of the year. So I'm just, use wisdom in everything. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. So I look forward to working with you guys and letting you guys know exactly what I'm doing on my health journey. And hopefully you guys will join me in some of these things if they work for you. And all I know is just cut out the sugar. If nothing else, cut out some of those sugar and you will feel excellent. So have a wonderful day, and I will see you all next week.